Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of LT Outdoors. On today's episode, I'm going to do just a quick little clip here, and I'm going to show you how to correctly fillet a pike. I caught this big old 32-inch pike today out on the ice, and I'm going to try and get the camera here situated so that I can hopefully show you how to correctly do this. Alright, first, you get 3 different cuts of meat off the pike. The first one that I do is the backstrap. You want to make a cut directly behind the head. Cut down to the bone. You'll feel that backbone. Once you get to the backbone, turn your knife sideways. You want to cut right along the top of that backbone. Now, don't worry about, you're going to feel some bones getting picked out there. Don't worry about them. That part comes next. When you get down to the fin here, cut upward. Boom. You got a backstrap. Okay. Now you take your back strap, and just like you've seen me do before in videos where I skin the fish, I go down here to the tail of the back strap, and I cut down till I get down to the skin, and then just run your knife right sideways between the skin and the meat. You can end up getting a fillet out of here. It's hard to do on the newspaper because pike is a sticky, it's got slime on it, it gets sticky. Alright, got the meat there off of the skin. Not done yet. There is a bone strip right down the center. You can almost see it. Right down the center of that. It's kind of a, I don't think it's bone, it's more like a muscle. But you want to cut that strip out. You can see it, so you just cut right alongside of it. That way you don't want to waste more than you have to. That strip right there is a good boneless piece of pike meat. And this strip right here is going to be another good boneless piece of pike meat. It might not look like much, but it's a pretty hefty chunk. Now, I usually use my pike meat for tacos. They make excellent fish tacos. For those of you that's never tried fish tacos, I highly recommend it. Alright, now we're going to go for the side fillets. Again, this time I make my cut straight down like that, like I would normally when I'm filleting a fish. And then, just like when I'm filleting a fish normally, if you've seen in my videos, I start filleting the meat instead of from the backbone. You'll feel there's actually a layer of bone right here. You'll want to fillet that right off of that layer. Again, if you make a mistake, don't worry, you can cut the bones out later, but it's really, I mean, you'll be able to feel those bones in there. And you can make another cut right down here because the tail section is going to be your last section anyway. So I'll just cut right through there, that way this can all be one slab of meat. Yep, just I figured, big old female. I'm sure she's probably got some perch in her stomach too, but I'm going to cut this big old section of meat off right here. Get her out of the way. Same thing, just like I did with that backbone, or that back strap. I'm going to fillet the meat off of this skin. Cut down just a tad and then run the knife right between the skin and the meat. Boom. That's a boneless, it's thin, but that's all a big old boneless slab of meat right there. And when I do tacos, I'll just cut this thing into strips. And I fry it up to throw into the tacos. Now it looks like you're missing a lot of meat right here, but you're not. There's actually the Y bones. That's all Y bones right along here. You guys ain't going to be able to see it probably, but I don't know if you can even hear it, but that's all bone right there. You don't want any of that. And of course there's eggs. Oh, stomach's pretty empty actually. I thought she'd be full, but I'm going to check too. Sometimes you can actually get cheeks off a pike too, just like you can the walleye. And this is a big enough pike. I'm sure she's got some cheeks, so same thing. Just run your knife behind the cheek. It's just not like the walleye cheek meat's more of a more muscular meat, so you get it off easier, but still good. Alright, now the tail section. I just run my knife right along that tail strip rather than leave it connected like I did on the bluegills and that. I'm going to cut it right off. Alright, now same thing as I did before. Cut down just to the skin. When I get down to the skin, turn the knife sideways and run it right between the meat and the skin. Alright, you got that right there. Just like the back strap, there's a little strip of meat, or a little strip of bone or muscle, whatever it is, right in the middle. You can see that too, just like you could on the back strap. But you just cut that out. Boneless chunk of meat. Boneless chunk of meat. Now you flip your pike. Time to do the other side here. Now the back strap's all done, but you still got your second side fillet here. So I'm going to make a cut here. I'll make a cut down here where I get that tail section. And then it's going to be hard for me to do this and record because I'm a lefty. I'm going to try and start from back here so I'm not in the way. You just start cutting that meat. You want to fillet, you get that just a little strip of meat off those Y bones. Now I used to do this differently. I used to fillet the fish. I would fillet the pike just like I do my bluegills. And then I would grind the entire fillet. And we would make patties out of them, almost like a salmon patty. They were good. It was just a pain. But once I learned how to correctly fillet the pike, it's a total game changer because this meat is just, it's excellent. I mean, honestly, I like it just as much as I do my panfish. It's just a matter of getting them Y bones out. Once you learn that, you're all set. Of course, the ruby's got to have some water. Yeah, I'm going to miss a section here. That's okay. Yeah, don't dread if you mess up, people. It happens. Alright, another big old piece of boneless meat right there. I don't want to waste this little strip that I messed up, so I'm going to get that off. Got that. And the tail piece. Just cut that whole tail strip right off. And then skin the tail section out. And there you have it. You end up with a good old bowl full of meat right there. Get that last cheek out if I can. It ain't easy to get them off the pike. I mean, you can even cut the whole cheek off if you want and then try and skin it out. Pike don't have nearly the amount of cheek meat that you get out of a walleye, but you do get a little piece of it. Yeah. Alright, so hope I was able to help you guys. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the comment section. Let me know. And if you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see, make sure you let me know. So keep those lines tight. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe.